Hello, our dear listener. Warm welcome to today's edition of NCHEZGO program right here on Kanele 97.7 FM. I'm your host, Stephen Nkoma, and tonight we have another great one. Just the other day, we hosted Chama Town Council Chairperson, Gift Kumwenda. And we were in Chama by the time we were holding that particular interview. Today we are in the city of the Eastern Province. We're talking Chipata. Our first stop is very much interesting. We want to look at issues to do with gender based violence. There's one particular organization that has done much in this aspect. We just want to hear why they are doing all this and definitely get to know their motive and how based some other communities can emulate their gesture. Privileged to host Ruth Grand Phiri, who's the coordinator of Lucy Grant Foundation. Um, Ruth, thank you so much for agreeing to have a conversation with us on NCHEZGO tonight.
Thank you so much.
First things first, let's look at Ruth Grand Phiri. Just give us a brief background, who really you are and what you have done in the past.
So basically, Ruth Grand Phiri is born and bred in Chipata. Primary up to secondary school, just within here, Chipata. Of course, tertiary education at UNZA.
Mm-hmm.
So I got my first undergraduate degree with the University of Zambia. That was 2009 when I graduated as an adult educator. So I am an adult educator by profession. And of course, after graduating, came back to Chipata and started work as a lecturer with HICOM Training Institute, lecturing these social sciences. Mm-hmm. At the same time, got engaged with UNZA and St. Eugene University within Chipata. So I was literally lecturing all these three universities, at the same time, and all courses relating to social policy analysis, community development, research, organizational behavior, issues to do with psychology. Then that was 2018. Decided to go back to the University of Zambia to do my master's in gender studies. Then of course, 2021, went to study with Subashine University, a master's in public administration in leadership and governance. Graduated last year in December. So I'm actually an adult educator by profession. I am a researcher, full-time lecturer, and of course a gender expert. So literally I've worked with different NGOs apart from lecturing. I've worked with different NGOs, and mostly these are USAID funded projects to do with issues of integrating or mainstreaming gender into development. So mark my word, I'm talking about gender. So gender is not just women, it's both sexes. So in this case, there's been biasness of, since historically men have been in there, in part and parcel of the decision-making process. So in this case, my role has always been, how do we draw women closer to the decision-making table? Once they're part and parcel of it, we'll be able to see that the decisions that are made, they've got the voices of both gender, implying that for any actually sustainable development to take place of the country, it requires both genders to speak out their voices, so that when these voices blend, even the kind of development that will take place will be that which will answer the needs of everybody else. Right. So literally, I'm a gender expert. I'm an adult educator. But away from that, all this issue of being an adult educator, being a gender activist, it has really been because of passion.
Looks can be deceiving. You look quite young. I'll ask you some questions that women hate or ladies do not like, issues to do with age, but I'll put it in a very good way. Are you still a youth?
No, I'm not a youth actually. I've passed that age of being a youth, but of course I'm not yet 40.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm neither a youth nor yet 40. I haven't started my life yet, but I'm living my life yet.
There's a nickname you have aimed yourself, GBV.
Yes.
How did it come about?
So GBV is because of the fact that it's been decades of me speaking against issues of gender-based violence. That gender-based violence knows no gender. So either this violence is, inflicted on a man or a woman, let's champion a no to it. Violence which is being perpetrated by a woman on a man is usually, championed. People get excited with it, but what is the excitement about? There's unfairness in it. So as we are fighting for gender equity and equality, even the way we are fighting for it, we should be see that there's fairness. So even when the society is against a man, society should be able to speak out. The law enforcers should be able to say, yes, there's violence against this man, and the men should not be feeling uncomfortable to go to the law enforcers so that they can be held. So literally, GBV is the way that I've embraced, because literally I think I speak issues of GBV, I walk GBV, I dream GBV, because I hope for a society where GBV should be taken as something which is very serious, because it has got a detrimental effect on a human being if left unattended to.
Experience is the best teacher, they say. Are you a victim of GBV with the passion that you attach to this matter?
I'm actually not a direct victim of a GBV, but I'm an indirect victim of a GBV. How do I mean? I grew up on Kombo. So Makombo included my minimum fence. And usually we interact a lot as kids. Kendo say a neighbor, whoever that we pray from. And you realize that you go to visit Mzako and you find parents are literally quarreling, using abusive language. And even the kids, they even adopt this language, Yama parents, like this normal thing. So you see Mkomboni, there's a lot of kwesana. That is seen openly because there are no fences. And traditionally when something is happening like that, a child is not expected to express themselves, because those are issues of elderly people. So you as a kid, you cannot say anything. So it's like tradition nurtures us in a way that we should not speak. Whatever we see which is affecting us as children, we cannot say anything about it, because it has to do with parents. And the parents don't see how much that affects us. So I could see these injustices going on in the community, and I could ask myself, why are people not speaking about this? We hear every day, oh, Matimbana, my neighbor. But it's like everyone minds their own business. And you're able to see a woman wakes up and comments, oh, Timbi were like no man's business. And this issue doesn't go even to the police. Marriage continues, and you'd want, is this a society that I really wants to stay in? There's definitely something wrong, because there must be somebody who is responsible when such kind of a thing happens. Who is supposed to report? Who is supposed to be a brother's keeper, a sister's keeper? Where are we supposed to report? If the police are a friend of the community, how come the police are not aware of these things? And if they are aware, what are they doing about it? So I saw a lot of these injustices that were going on, and I was hoping one day I need to speak out about these things that are happening, because it's every day. Then coupled with much social media. Yeah. Social media, then we realize, these things are exposed everywhere else. And you just see a woman has died, she's been beaten, killed by the husband. Wamuna, wabachira cooking on kuri wakazi, and he's all bent. Mwana, she was defiled. Mwana has been sodomized. And it's like it's everywhere else. It's like human beings, there's a certain part of them which is too much animosity. And this behavior is everywhere else. Why are people not speaking out? Why are we allowing these things to happen? I am a citizen. And I feel I've got a right to speak out on issues that are happening, even if they are happening to a neighbor. As a patriotic citizen, as a Christian, as a human being, there's a sense of want that you feel. Let this thing not happen. It has happened, but let it not happen to somebody else. How? Speak out, so that people should be aware these vices are not needed in the society, so that they come to an end.
All right.
Hence the GBV and why every now and then I speak about this. And remember, Lucy Grant Foundation, we deal with these issues because we don't follow the cases. The cases follow us in our office every day. And the reasons of these GBV cases, you'll be very sure, they're very petty why people end up in that.
You've talked much about that, and this now brings us to the foundation itself, Lucy Grant Foundation. You've talked about it tackling issues to do with GBV. What else do you handle?
So apart from GBV cases, Lucy Grant Foundation also implements a project that is focusing on women's participation in governance issues. So, traditionally, these issues of governance are looked at to be male-dominated.
Sure.
And our women, they are told, in the midst of the men, a woman can't speak. Now, because that is what they are taught in the community, even when it comes to issues of development and have to do with governance, women don't participate. So if women don't participate, what is the repercussion? The repercussion is what we are seeing now. Most of the decision-making tables, women are not there. If women are there, they are clapping for men in the background. If women are there, they're just pushing men. They're just cheering for men. That itself, it is a sign of huge injustice, social injustice in a community, where you see there's too much dominance of the patriarchy and women are left out. No, there's too much injustice that is happening there, which people have taken as a norm, which we are saying, look, it's high time women, they gathered their courage, their energy, and the assertiveness and the voice to contribute in the issues of the governance of our country and the globe. So we deal with issues of governance, we deal with issues of educational sponsorship. We've got a few memorandum of understanding with few local Zambian universities, because as we believe in supporting local, as we are developing as an organization, we support other universities or institutions to develop as well. So we have few MOUs with universities, and our MOUs are based on one major fact. Eastern Province is a hub of agriculture, hence most of the children in Eastern Province are children of the peasant farmers. Implying because they've got finances once in a year, most of the part of the year they do not have money. So implying they cannot manage to go to these other universities whose school fees are so exorbitant for a peasant farmer. So in this case, for example, we've got an MOU with Supershine University where we give 100% scholarship to these students, a child of the farmer, because we are saying education is a human right, education is an equalizer. It shouldn't be for the elite, the rich. Let a child of a farmer also have an access to university education. That is the whole essence of all these MOUs that we have. We have the End Period Poverty campaign, because it's period poverty is one of the reasons why our girl child are dropping out of school. The passing rate is very bad. There's too much absenteeism, which initially, in the long run, affects their, zeal to continue with education.
Sure.
In the long run, they're dropping out of school. They find themselves in child pregnancies, child marriages, because they don't see the importance of education and the like. So we have a program which we call End Period Poverty Campaign, which we are supporting pupils in the schools with the pads and the school themselves in case our girl child has got an emergency at school. They should not leave class with a messed up uniform, walking 5-10 kilometers back to her home for her to go and clean up herself. If such an emergency happens, let a girl child go to the guidance counseling teacher or the matron of that school and easily access a pad. She puts it on, she gets back to school, and she continues with classes.
Right.
That itself promotes the progression of a girl child in terms of school and also the passing rate. We have these women and youth empowerment program also, and the humanitarian part. So the humanitarian part mostly is needs based. There's nothing like that special packages that we give out most of the times. No, it's needs based. There are times where somebody wants a wheelchair, crutches, and those kids who's they were born from the parents who got a mental disorder,
Yeah.
they cannot be taken care of, so they are just left wondering. We facilitate on how best to keep that child and the life together with other stakeholders because we work with other partners.
We'll look at that. In case you've just joined us, this is NCHEZGO. Tonight's edition, we're featuring Ruth Phiri. She's a coordinator of Lucy Grant Foundation. Edward Banda is on camera, as well as my producer John Zayawan Mseteka. Yes, this is NCHEZGO, and we're talking quite a lot of issues. Let's look at Lucy Grant Foundation again before we get into much of these details. When was it established?
So Lucy Grant Foundation was formally registered on the 21st of September 2021.
Okay.
But it's been working as a movement from 2013. So it used to be called Empowered Women, Empower Women.
Ah, great.
Yes. So there are 4 of us, the women, who came up with this initiative and involving the women within who are relatively doing fine to at least empower another woman. That's how it used to work, and that's how the whole idea came up. But with pass of time, you find your colleagues are transferred.
Yeah.
A few remaining, then we said, you know what? We need to establish this an NGO for one, donor confidence. Remember that donors won't just come in and give help to an individual. Mostly they want an established thing. And in this case, we said for donor confidence, we need to have this as an organization. Hence, registering it. I remember we had a lot of challenges to have it registered, but that is a story.
What were the challenges about?
Now, I wouldn't want to discuss that for now, because I think people are just being funny.
Okay.
People can be funny sometimes. They want to stop a good idea, from flourishing, from blossoming. But we thank God, finally it was established, registered, and we are receiving huge support actually.
All right, before we get to look at support, moving from the leadership of 4 women, how is the leadership structure right now?
So Lucy Grant Foundation has got the board of trustees, then it has got the board of directors, then there's the coordinator, that is me, then we've got the finance officer, then we have the educational sponsorship officer, then we have the liaison officer, then we have students representatives and the volunteers. So literally that's the structure. So I'm literally answerable to the board of directors and the board of trustees.
All right. You have done quite some good noise on social media. We must admit to that. Do you have a media team, or how do you put out this information? Because I've seen quite a number of your clips going viral on big pages on Facebook, to be precise. They're sharing your content, and you're becoming an influencer day by day. How do you run that?
So basically, we have got a media team, and we thank God that I literally working voluntarily. A very good media team actually. They are doing actually a great job.
Okay.
Handling our socials and anything else to do with media. So we've got a strong media team actually that are doing that work on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, responding to the queries on socials and the like. Yes, so we've got that media team actually. You as an organization, I think you can't grow. Visibility can't be seen if everything else is done and put under the carpet. But we've got a very good professional media team that is handling all that. It's made to the public to see, hence what you're talking about now. They're able to see because of this strong and professional media team.
What you see now, is it something you dreamt about, or it has gone beyond your dreams?
What I'm seeing now is actually a drop in the ocean. We hope to see a lot. We hope to see a lot in terms of transformation in our target clientele.
Okay.
So it's not whatever activities that people are seeing, which we hope to see. We hope to see the real impact and results in huge numbers. We hope to see Lucy Grant Foundation growing in terms of its community activities beyond Eastern Province. Why? All these community activities are literally confined to Eastern Province. Apart from educational sponsorship, it's the one which is the entire country. And of course, we've got students from Malawi, Kenya, and Uganda as well that are benefiting from this scholarship that we are providing. But we hope to see a situation where we have Lucy Grant Foundation in almost all the provinces, and people can easily go there and access the services. And we see people are coming back with success stories, stories of change, stories of character transformation, stories of attitude transformation. That is actually our goal. We hope to see sanity in things that we are championing.
Maybe someone could be thinking you had all this that you have now at your disposal because you went to university, you have acquired all you have along the way. Maybe just that particular young person who's watching you right now and is thinking they could provide the much needed change in their particular community. What special words would you have for someone?
So for one to make any change, they really need to have passion. You know, it's very difficult for one to challenge something which is based on passion. So the young ones need to have a passion first. And they need to understand what their focus is. You can have the passion, but the focus is not there. The passion isn't there. So the passion should have a focus. The passion should have a goal. But that passion and the focus, together with the goal and the vision, needs to be shared with other colleagues who will also buy into what you are seeing. Colleagues that will relate with what you are seeing. Colleagues that will think as if it's you who is thinking. For anything to grow, you need to require efforts from others. Because many of the times our ideas are limited, but sharpened by other people's ideas. Lucy Grant Foundation has got a great team, and good news with the team is it is working based on passion. We are able to see every one of us is really passionate about what they are doing, and even in the midst of the night, somebody will say, in fact, there's this idea, why can't we do this and this? You share, because sometimes an idea will come, then you forget. But we've got a tendency of sharing even beyond work hours. As we are meeting the following day, we say, in fact, there's this idea, how do we go about doing this so that we grow? And our youth of today should realize that it's not everything that requires money. A lot of things requires sharing an idea with the right people. People who can nurture the idea to the greater height beyond what you thought. So those that nurture ideas are the ones now that will bring in different resources. But the most important resource is the knowledge itself. If there is lack of knowledge, even if the money is there for you to do activities, the activities won't go anywhere. They require people who are able to support the idea. They require them being passionate, them being focused, them knowing from the start what is it exactly that we need, and is this clear to everybody else? It will work out.
All right.
So there's one thing that I noticed amongst our youths.
Mm.
Most of our youths, they want things that are already established. But where are they going to find the established things? You can't dream big, but you don't want to start small. It's not possible you are born today. The following day you want to begin having shima. Ndiye pachatima mvera mwananzi. Azadwala mali osampasa porridge. Afunika this zero. Why? Because everything requires a stage, and being nurtured in that stage, each and every stage itself, and handled like that. So we need youth who are able to come up with an idea, be patient enough to nurture it with the help of others. Ukaimira weka, it's easy kubwa. But when you are able to stand with others, even when you are weak, these others will give you the support that is needed.
All right. How present are you in the province? Specifically, I know that you're here in the city. Just kindly share with us where else you're present, and does that also attract all these activities you've talked about?
So Lucy Grant Foundation's offices are in Chipata, Eastern Province. But we do our activities mostly Chipata, we have Kasenengwa, we have Chipangali, we have Katete, we have Betawi.
Wow.
But when it comes to educational sponsorship, like I said previously, it's the one which cutters across the entire country and beyond. But for the community works, these are the districts that we operate from mostly. And remember, Lucy Grant Foundation works with other partners. For example, in this case, we've got Save the Children.
Okay.
That is championing the cause of the children in the country. So most of the times we partner on certain community activities. Hence, you may find where they Save the Children, Lucy Grant Foundation is there.
Okay.
You may find where Chief Mazima is doing the activity. Lucy Grant Foundation is also there doing activities. You may find Chitones Mwanjawantu has got community dialogue meeting with her indunas, village head basins, and Lucy Grant Foundation is there. So we do not work in silos. We work with other partners, being NGOs or our traditional leaders. We are there based on the activity.
I've heard you in one of these clips passionately speaking against teenage pregnancies and early marriages. But if you were to still look at these vices, they are still rampant, specifically here in Eastern Province. Being a champion of trying to get rid or definitely reduce these numbers, but still see the numbers going up, how do you feel?
It actually breaks my heart so much. It breaks my heart so much knowing these children that are falling pregnant, that are getting married, are too young. Imagine, she's 11 years old, then she falls pregnant. You know the health effect of that. The cognitive development itself gets affected. Her education gets affected. Her future becomes affected. Now, being 11, you are a child.
Yeah.
Carrying another child, that is so dangerous. To that child, it's also dangerous to our future. How do I mean? Imagine from January to June, Eastern Province records more than 8,500 teen pregnancies. And most of these, they drop out of school. And regardless of the re-entry and affirmative policy that allows the student to go back to school, they are not going back. So implying, for example, if we are to say, out of that 8,500, only 1,000 go back to school, we have 7,500 that are becoming illiterate. What happens to the future of Zambia? It's scary. And it's just for those humans. By the time we'll be reaching the end of this year, I don't know, we are expecting to get other reports. How many will have? Last year, remember, we had more than 32,000 teen pregnancies. And these children are literally dropping out of school regardless of these policies that are there. So you are saying you have that population which is literally illiterate. Zambia to develop, we need skilled manpower. We need skilled human resource. And these children are falling pregnant at this tender age. A child is 16 years old, has got 2 children, and she's a divorcee. And she's a dropout. Now, it has got a trickle-down effect. You know, a home where a parent actually is not educated, there is a higher possibility that children won't be educated as well. When a parent is educated, the possibility of children being educated is very high as well. So she's coming from a poverty-stricken home, she falls pregnant at 16 or at 11, she gives birth to a child who is also growing in a poverty-stricken home. For this circle to be broken of illiteracy and poverty and healthy complications because of having children at a tender age, trust me, it's costing Zambia so much. That's the reason why we really need a lot of coordinated efforts to fight this social problem, because, like you put it, it's like the more we talk about it, the more the numbers are increasing. And one would wonder, why? Of course, there are a lot of reasons that we've established as we continue having these community dialogue meetings with the parents together with the kids.
Do you at some point feel discouraged?
I never feel discouraged at all. Like I said, when you are executing your work with passion, it's not easy to stop. When you are doing your work because you need to get paid, it's at any time you stop. After all, my salary is not even very impressive, you know. Let me go somewhere and try out something. But in this case, we've got the passion. We've got the patriotism to our country. All we need to see, all we hope to see, is a country that education and high levels of literacy should be a norm. Not a country where education is for the elite. Illiteracy is a norm. We don't want illiteracy as a norm. Because remember, the more you have illiterate people, the more you are assured of having put in leaders in those positions. Leaders that want to represent them well. Because the one who is making a decision is literally illiterate. Therefore, even the decisions that are being made are questionable.
The young people that you've engaged on these issues that have been greatly affected by the vice, what's their message? What are they telling you?
So funny enough, so they are saying there's a lot of poverty in their homes. The poverty is so much that the parents actually will literally tell us in our faces, oh, now we're Ruth. Walume bangu banga ndokwanisha lini na kutilie shaka 3 kwa siku. Upeza nkamo? Omba wangu mwana wakula chisungu. Kuliko mwana lumofuna mkwatira. Mwanje wati nsumbi. Beta akwatiriwe kuti kula wothandiza. So when you judge these people using our own standard of living, we'll never understand them. But we look at them based on their levels of thinking. Because trust me, you and I will be thinking, no, but you are a parent. You are responsible. You need to take care of this child. Yes, they need to take care of the child. But she's literally telling you to say, we are not managing. We are experiencing absolute poverty. Not even the relative. Absolute poverty. They'll take you in their homes. And there's no food. There's literally nothing. You know? So they'll tell you, some parents are literally telling the children, and then we also have issues of initiation ceremonies that are still there, and the syllabuses are quite pathetic, exposing our children to information that they do not need to hear at that particular time. Things for the adults are being taught to these kids, therefore spoiling their childhood, exposing them to an adult mindset and thinking they become adults. So let me practice what I'm being taught. Apart from that, You find most in these rural areas, our children do not have role models. No, they don't have. You are born in a family where your mother is a grade 3 dropout. Your father is a typical farmer who also dropped from school in grade 6. Your elder sister got married at 15. Your brother stopped school. Your friend who is the neighbor, she's pregnant. The other friend, she's married. The other friend just stopped school. So you are living in an environment where you, an outsider, you go there and tell them education is a key to success. Education is an equalizer. What you are talking about is a utopia to them. It doesn't make sense. What are you talking about? Which education? Because no one in that environment is educated. So when you're telling them about education, they can't relate. There are people that maybe they may see as role models, they are far-fetched, very different from their realities. Maybe they see them on televisions, which actually they don't even have, once in a while. And they can't relate that that person was once poverty-stricken like them. Because all they see is somebody who's already established and living in a totally different environment from theirs. There are no role models. They are living in environments where everywhere you are looking, they are typical subsistence farmers. The entire village, not even one has ever even gone to a university. So you tell them about education for what? They don't see the value. Hence, need to expose these children. And remember, we have now social media.
Yeah.
Our children are being raised by social media. Most especially the urban ones. Parents are so busy looking for finances, forgetting their roles at home as parents. You come back from work where you found the money, you are home, all you do, hi, and the kids in the living room, you go to your bedroom, you are tired, you freshen up, you eat, you go sleep. And the child is busy on YouTube, on social media, seeing all sorts of things, because remember, our social media in Zambia, the content is not filtered. Everything is raw, that our children are being exposed to this information which they cannot filter. Because anything else that a human being will just wake up and post on social media. Our children are consuming that information, and it is that which becomes reality. We do not have parents that have time for their children to tell them, this life, not in my house. This kind of talking, not in my house. Parents are too busy to give their children attention, so social media is raising them.
Could it be parents present but absent?
Yes, we've got a lot of absentee parents in the same home with the children, but very absent. You've seen this time around with technology, people will be seated, Mr. Stephen, you are here, I'm here. I'll be on phone, you're on phone, we're not even talking. That's what happens in these children. You buy them gadgets. They'll be busy on YouTube playing games and whatever information which is there. And remember that this time around we even have this pornography at what do you call it? These cartoons that are showing some behavior which is not accepted by Zambia as a Christian nation, if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And they're being exposed like that, and that is a reality that is. When they grow to a certain stage, you begin seeing them exhibiting that behavior, being wondering, where is this coming from? They are seeing on social media this lifestyle in the cartoons. They're being exposed to this lifestyle where man to man is okay, woman to woman is okay, and that is reality. And you get surprised, where is this behavior coming from? You forgot as a parent to tell them, this is a red flag, this is okay, this in my house, no, this is okay. You forget to teach them because I'm busy, I'm looking for money.
Is there a possibility that we can change the status quo?
Definitely, there's a very huge possibility. We need to go back on the drawing board. Because we are our own responsibility. We are responsible of our future. Everything that we are doing now, we should think, is this what I'm doing now the best thing to prepare the future generation? For example, if you are watching today, women are being killed in marriages aimlessly, and no one is speaking. You take it's normal. What kind of generation are we creating? Remember that these kids in these homes, they are watching this behavior. And they are thinking it's normal. Therefore, they will perpetuate this behavior because most of the perpetrators of GBV, they've actually witnessed it in their own homes and they've tried it with them in their own marriages. And it's normal. When you are not experiencing love from your parents, from your home, it's very difficult for you to ensure love, that love outside there. So we've got a lot to do in terms of change of attitude, change of mindset. I can give you an example where we've got this common thing in Zambia. People are driving nice cars. They are eating. They are done with their drink. They just throw it through the window. Then you would wonder.
They don't even
what
care
kind of
where to
attitude
land.
is this? You ask somebody who tell you, that's why I can't survive. Anyhow. You can't see where being is. Be a responsible person. Responsibility starts with me, not those that you're assuming they should be responsible. No. Responsibility starts with us. Responsibility starts from our homes. Responsibility starts from our mindset. So if we've developed this attitude of taking care of our environment, of everywhere where we are, trust me, I think a lot of things can change. Unlike having that I don't care attitude, which affects us in a lot of things in our society. That's why we'll be seeing a child has been defiled, and they are saying, Kambirana ni child. Why you come back over in Kani? You want command? You want command? It's okay. I'm just defiled. I repeat it. And he had it 3 This child, the future has been spoiled. We need that attitude that is right, that is positive, the attitude that we know that will bring the positive change in our society, and the kind of development in Zambia that we hope to achieve.
All right, let's switch a bit. I got to know about Lucy Grant Foundation. Was it a few months ago, early this year, when you introduced the Koala Awards? I was meant aware as well that you also did humanitarian awards as well. Those two categories. Let's talk about them. What are they all about?
So humanitarian awards is actually an idea from the LGF team, where we thought, you know what? We are seeing these awards happening mostly Lusaka, Copper Belt. And it's as though Eastern Province, we do not have activities going on. We do not have people that are doing tremendous works, that are contributing to the development of the province and the country at large. I think it's high time we celebrated and honored our own. And remember that Lucy Grant Foundation is biased towards the women, the girls, and of course the youths. We say, okay, let's come up with the awards specifically for the women that are doing a lot and contributing to the development of Eastern Province. Hence the humanitarian, from woman.
Great.
Remember that we usually have humanitarian
yes.
awards, but this time it's humanitarian, the women doing this kind of activities, services in the community. Hence the establishment of humanitarian awards. Different categories there, different awards we are given, and packages in terms of money, and also other farming inputs, agricultural inputs, issues to do with climate change by NCHEZGO. They gave us that support, City Lodge and other sponsors who came in. Humanitarian awards, we also saw you host the Koala Awards, which as Kanele FM we got nominated in 3 categories and we managed to win 2 of those. An area of concern is that whenever awards are held here in Chipata, there's a saying that goes like Chipata is Eastern and Eastern is Chipata. Definitely meaning that when awards are held here, only those that come from Chipata are considered to be outright winners. But yours was different. Kanele Bokosi 1, Kukaya Kwakwitu, Kanele FM got that particular award. John Zaya Mseteka
also got an award from there. Kindly share with us what the Koala Awards were all about and how you fused in transparency.
So basically, Koala Awards, Koala means to shine. So we are saying the sun comes from Eastern Province.
Yeah.
It starts shining Eastern Province before it can shine the rest of the country. So in that case, it's high time we met Eastern Province to shine, because there's always this tendency of these awards just happening in Lusaka and on the Copper Belt. It's as though people here are not doing a lot, but they are doing a lot that we tend to give a blind eye. So in this case, Koala Awards literally are meant to appreciate different personalities because of the different services that they are providing to the communities, different efforts that are putting in, seeing that Eastern Province is developing, and whatever Eastern Province is doing here, it has got a trickle-down effect to the rest of the country. So in this case, that's why what you see different in Koala Awards from Humanitarian Awards is that Koala Awards had a combination of different categories. We had the DJs, we have the musicians, we had the bridal shops, we had the gender champions, the climate change champions, we had radio stations, we had reporters, presenters doing different activities. We had, these that are into neo-tech, the neo-technicians, so we had literally different categories blended in one Koala. So these are representing different activities happening in Eastern Province. And of course, one or two categories where Kanele as a radio station, won an award, and also one of the presenters from Kanele, of course, won an award. And the nomination process literally was left to the public to do. So Lucy Grant Foundation had literally nothing to do with the nominations. The organizing committee, they literally had nothing to do with the nominations. They were left open to the public, and the public nominated all those nominees, inclusive of their voting process. Though in between, there was due diligence which was being done deliberately. Why? Because previously, for example, during the Humanitarian Awards, we had a situation where we had the category Civil Servant of the Year. And when you check, you realize this person is not a civil servant. How come they're here? So you get rid of them from that category. So it's same with the Koala Awards. So the due diligence was being done to see that the people in that particular category are right people. So that even when the award comes, it goes to right personalities or radio stations or institutions. It doesn't make sense where you try to give somebody an award as a climate change activist. And that person literally does nothing to do with climate change. Then how come? Because remember, there are people who are very active on social media that they'll just literally tell their friends, vote for me, vote for me. And social media has got too much excitement. Too much. Most, especially amongst the youth. Then they'll just cast votes, because they know you. But not even the activities that you are doing. But because they know you are a friend, they end up voting. But we literally made sure that those that are in those categories, they were right people. It's true, whatever they were nominated for is actually what made them to be in that category. And for sure, the people, they voted. And because these are not Chipata awards, these are Eastern Province awards, we saw the nominations from all the districts in the province. And from there, people were able to share, on those social media platforms that Koala Awards was being posted, they kept on sharing, and a lot of people were aware of what was happening. And because a lot of people were aware from all those districts, they were able to vote. And one would say, you asked the question, issues about why Kanele. It's because people are listening to what you're doing. They're listening to the radio station. And they were honest enough, they made the votes. and you came out a winner. You know, it, and that's actually will make people realize to say these are not awards for Chipata. These are awards meant for Eastern Province, and people are aware of whatever you are doing. They may not come to you and say you are doing a great job, Mr. Stephen, because maybe to them it's business as usual. They're looking at it, you are good at this. That's what they do. But people were able to say that there's this radio station. They are doing a lot. They're very innovative, very creative, and we saw Canela being the award winner.
So you've held 2 awards, isn't it?
We've held actually 2 awards. One for the women specifically, and one award for both the women and the men and different categories. You know where you get the entrepreneur, the DJ here, the presenter, climate change, gender activist, they are all embedded in just one type of award, which is one award.
How do these awards resonate with the mission of Lucy Grant Foundation?
So, Woman Awards, Lucy Grant Foundation champions women agenda. They champion bringing women to light, encouraging them to be part and parcel of the development process. So if we are to encourage them, let's remind them that we are seeing what you do. So if we are seeing what we are doing, let's find a way of motivating them. Because some people need motivation. They need to be reminded to say, we actually sing and thank you. And for sure, that was done. That is what Lucy Grant is about. It knows how to appreciate a good when it sees one. That's what Lucy Grant Foundation is all about. It knows how to appreciate the community when it's doing the best. We are interacting with the community, and the community is interacting with us. And in that way, we are saying, let's say thank you to the community. And this community, they are women. But you know, most of the times, our women needs to be cheered.
Yeah.
Women needs to be told, look, you can do it. You're managing. You know, we are seeing your efforts and the like. And the Woman Driven Awards was there to say, we've noticed for a long period of time. And the people have been watching for a long period of time. And the people are saying, thank you so much. And Koala Awards, we are saying, look, this kind of development that we are championing as Lucy Grant Foundation, there are a lot of other people that are championing it. And where are those people? We may not know them in person, but the people in those communities where they are working, they know them. So let the people where they're coming from identify these people, nominate them, and bring them to light. And Lucy Grant Foundation will be there to actually facilitate the process of bringing these people to light and say thank you. You are doing the activity. We are doing the activities. Together, we are developing Eastern Province because we want our province to develop. We want Zambia to develop.
All right. Where does Lucy Grant Foundation get the resources in as far as helping the needy is concerned? We've seen you distribute wheelchairs before. We've seen you running a campaign recently to do with providing pads to the girls in different areas. Where do you get these resources from?
So, Lucy Grant Foundation, like you have put it, has got a way of, for example, fundraising for these resources. One, we have well-wishers, literally, well-wishers we've never seen. And some of them we know that we've actually never even seen them because of the distance, you know. So we've got well-wishers that have been very good. They've been watching what we are doing. And they just come in the inbox and say, I'm here, I just want this, one help out somebody who is in need, and they're going to school. They listened to End Period Poverty campaign, which was launched on Facebook, asking for the well wishes. And the emphasis was, we are 38,000 on this Lucy Grant Foundation page. All we were asking if every one of our followers can just contribute the one kwacha, it will make a difference. And for sure, they were able to send us the money, and we raised 8,072 kwacha, of which we were able to buy the pads, and we've given them to Nyakutua Primary School, Chisomo Primary School during the International Day of the Child, which took place on the 11th of this month, October, and we're yet to give to another school tomorrow, the same part. So you've seen from the well wishers, these 3 schools have actually benefited from that. And of course, we work with other partners. For example, you know, there are communities that literally do not have water, and they come to us to help them sink boreholes in their areas. We have the Chibata Muslim Association that we also go to knock on their door. And when they have the finances in their association available, they literally go in that community and sink those boreholes.
Wow.
So literally, we've got people that have been helping us from their own pockets. We have a team here that puts its own personal resources together to execute some activities. And of course, we had a project which was funded by Danish government. They call it SISU. It's a fund for these NGOs, where we're implementing the civic participation of women in Chibata district. That one is literally funded by the Danish government. So we try to source from everywhere. We have these awards, both humanitarian and koala awards, where we have different sponsors like Xenon, you know, we've got City Lodge, we've got NatSafe Bank. Actually, right from the headquarters there, the MD was very generous, they really helped us understand. We've got the Yamik, we've got NCHEZGO, you know, we've got Infinity Bouquet, we've got Chipata Healthcare, we've got Update, we've got Rijay, we have these different companies, you know, these healthy shops as far as Cinda, they get interested to support us, you know, here. So we've got different companies that literally say would want to help out on this project so that we see it happen. So yes, we've been very fortunate and very grateful that there are always these people that are willing. When they see us doing an activity, we share that activity with them and they buy into the idea and come on board. That's literally how we've been working. We hope one day a big donor will just come and say, you know what? We want to support you, most especially on the community activities like the community dialogue meetings around teen marriages and child marriages and teen pregnancies, because this is a huge problem that we are facing now that requires a lot of resources. To move from one district, one area to the other to mobilize, it really requires a lot of resources. So we are playing. Don't we want to partner with you so that we can go flat out, and as an organization we want to grow, we even go to other areas to execute this.
In that line, probably you could be reaching out to people now that may not have known much about you on our platform, in case they are feeling they should come on board and support you as well. How do they get hold of you?
So Lucy Grant Foundation is found in Chipata at NAPSA building, room 106. Or is it okay I may give out?
No problem.
Or you can contact us on 0977 694828, 0977 694828, or 0964 23 29 20. So they can reach us on those numbers and see how best we can coordinate to ensure that some of these vices, they come to an end, because in togetherness we'll be able to reach out to many, and even the solutions that we are looking at, they will be definitely be found and executed. And these numbers, especially for child marriages and teen pregnancies, they will literally reduce and subsequently end.
What are future plans or ambitions?
Our future plans definitely is to grow Lucy Grant Foundation to an extent that it should be everywhere. Okay. We want our presence to be everywhere. So it's not just the physical presence that we need, but the presence where it produces the results that we need. The results we need is there should be women involvement in the governance issues. There should be reduction in these social injustices. There should be reduction in these issues of poverty. There should be an end of teen pregnancies and child marriages. There should be a situation where 3/4 of our population is literate because they're able to access a university education. There should be a society that is sober, that is conducive, that anytime a child, whether a boy or a girl, can freely walk to school and come back without feeling I will be harassed, I will be, defiled, I will be raped. A society which is just. That is our goal.
Ruth, would like to thank you so much for appearing on NCHEZGO tonight.
Thank you so much.
All right, so that's Ruth Grant Phiri. She is the coordinator of Lucy Grant Foundation. She does make tonight's program, NCHEZGO. We were looking at the foundation and its services. On behalf of Edward Band on camera, as well as my producer, John Zayawan Mseteka, we were coming to you live from Chipata City, here in the eastern part of Zambia. God bless you. Bye-bye.